but I mean, what do you make? Would you be interested in Kyler Murray? How about this? You send Jalen Hurts to Arizona and you bring Kyler Murray in. Welcome back. The middle. Final edition two, by the way. Derek Brooks and Sileo. Who's got more pressure going? They're playing Toronto, the Sixers are. Embiid or Harden going into the playoffs?
Say it again.
Who do you think has the most pressure, Embiid or Harden, going into the playoffs in this series against Toronto?
Against Toronto, I would say not even just against Toronto, just the playoffs, period. The majority of the pressure I think, is on Harden. Because we know we can win with Embiid. We know Embiid's a boss. But we let two quality players go for Harden, and he hasn't held up his end of the deal. I mean, you know, we say what you want to say. Curry, he's basically balling right now. And then you have the big man. So at this point, Harden is already giving me 12 assists. But I need scoring, man. That's the reason why we brought him in. So Harden has a legacy right now of falling short, you know what I'm saying, when he gets into the playoffs or close to the playoffs and when he gets into the playoffs. He disappears. When you're an all-star player like that, you can't afford to disappear. That's when the all-star players get better. That's when you learn to go out there and take control and become a winner. He hasn't learned how to be a winner in the postseason yet. So he has a lot of pressure on him. Because right now, he is just the guy that scores a lot of points during the season, but falls short when it really counts.
I would say this to you too. I think Daryl Morey's got some heat on him. I think this is your boy, man. I mean, you know, you found him in OKC. This was the guy who was a sixth man. You kind of invented James Harden in Houston. You bring him, he's your boy. He brings him into Philly. Like you said, you trade an all-star defensive player away. You brought this guy in here. Hey, Daryl, man, this has been your boy, man. This guy's got, like you said, Embiid's carried the refrigerator and the weight of the team on his back the entire year.
Yes.
And he's going to win the most valuable player award. I saw Stephen A. Smith.
The last 3 years he's done it. 3.
Hey, he's put that – and you know what? He's been a great leader on the team. Yep. You know, the way he answered it last year about Simmons, the way he answered it at the beginning of the year. I'm not a babysitter, man. I'm not here to babysit men. That's for other people to do, man. I'm here to lead this team. And he went out and balled, man. 30-plus points, scoring champion. You know, you got a chance. I think the Heat and the Bucks are going to be pretty big obstacles and hurdles to overcome for the Sixer team because I don't think they have the perimeter shooting. And against a team like Miami, Barrett, I don't think you have the full court defense that Eric Spoelstra implies there with that team. That team plays good team defense, and that's always been a staple for the Pat Riley team. You know what's crazy about Riley? Think about what Riley and what kind of mentality he has and how he builds teams. This guy was the creator of freaking Showtime. What does he do? Then he goes to a half-court team with the Knicks, and all they do is beat you up in a fist fight. They're a half-court team. And now in Miami, they've created this really great organization by playing team defense and perimeter shooting. He's such a great – next to Jerry West, he's the greatest builder of basketball teams. I can't tell you outside of D. Wade, one player he's drafted where I went like this, wow, Pat Riley can't draft. Right. I'll tell you, he can't. But the one thing he can do, he gets free agents and he gets people to buy into what he's doing. I mean, Riley's outside of D. Wade and some of the guys they have on the team now, a couple dudes, not really a superstar draft list that Pat Riley has put together. I think it's pretty interesting, though. I can't wait to see what this Sixer team does. All right. Before we get to this topic about Jalen here, how about Kyler Murray? Let me throw this at you here. So Kyler Murray's agent has pulled a deal off the table.
Yes.
And the Cardinals went like this. We never looked at it. And so, hey, how's that for you? We never looked at it.
Right.
Hey, I mean, there's some bad blood going on right now. Murray sees his style. You need to renegotiate my contract now. And what I don't like you and I have both, I think, agree on, this guy's making business decisions during games.
Right. That's the problem.
It's totally a problem. Your job is to go out and ball and bitch later, not bitch while you're balling.
Exactly.
I don't mind, hey, Barrett, I don't mind players bitching, just not while you're balling. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Do it off the field. Do it in, behind. You don't need to negotiate your contract on Twitter and shit like that. You don't have to do any of that. But, I mean, what do you make? Would you be interested in Kyler Murray? How about this? You send Jalen Hurts to Arizona and you bring Kyler Murray in.
Kyler Murray.
Would that suffice Howie and Jeffrey Lurie?
Well, you virtually bringing in, the same guy with a better arm.
Oh, you think you think Jalen Hurts' upside is Kyler Murray?
But he has a better arm. He has more live arm. Kyler Murray is the better passer. He doesn't read defenses well either. But when you have a guy like Hopkins, and that gives you the autonomy to play a lot more looser when you have guys like that you can throw the ball up to. And what you notice when Hopkins was out, how that offense, fell by the wayside.
Yes.
You look at Zach Ertz. You have guys like that. He made Hurts look good also. You have weapons that'll help you out. It gives you more of a sense that you could be more of a complete quarterback when you have weapons that help you be a complete quarterback. When you have just guys, you can't get better. You can't really see what this player is if you just have some guys out there. You just can't. I mean, I played with some great quarterbacks, and I played with some guys, and some guys will just make you look even worse than what you are. But if you have a great quarterback, it can make you look very good. But then I've seen guys throw to great receivers and made this guy look really good, and he was still just a guy. Bobby Horn was just a guy, but he was throwing to guys that were really good. And that made him look really good the year before. When you throw into Urban Fryer, he can make you look really good. He can take you past what you are as a quarterback. Offensive coordinator can take you past what you really are. That's a lot of what people aren't getting to understand either. That's not the system that Jalen Hurts was designed to run at the beginning of the year. They wanted to do that read option BS and all. No, you got to work the offense around who you have in that huddle. And you just did not have that type of offense in that huddle the first 7-8 games.
Let me ask you this.
Then it made him a better player.
As an offensive lineman, and you would fit in with this current Eagle offensive line very well. What's the style of quarterback?
Jalen
What's
does
that?
not stink. He said Jalen stink. Jalen does not stink.
He doesn't stink. That's an unfair comment about Jalen. You just don't see him being Joe Burrow. And I agree with that. I don't see him being Joe Burrow either. But we're not saying that. And I'm going to ask you this.
I don't see Pickett being Joe Burrow either.
No, I don't.
Or Allen.
It's fair. I see him being more like Baker Mayfield.
Yes. There it is.
What's a style that you prefer blocking? Guys like Kyler Murray and Jalen Hurts, or guys like Joe Burrow and Brady?
It was easier to block for a guy like Joe Burrow.
Why?
Because you knew exactly where he was going to be. He's not going to deviate from where he's supposed to be. It's hard as hell blocking for a guy like Jalen Hurts that's going to hold the ball, like Randall Cunningham, who's going to hold the ball, who else? You name it. Like Big Ben, it was hard blocking for Big Ben.
Why?
Because Big Ben will hold the ball. He wanted to exhaust every option. It was always hero ball with him. Because he was so big, it was hard to bring him down.
Was that Wentz's demise?
Yes, that was Wentz's demise. But when you have a quarterback like Ben eventually could, with three guys draped over him, push the ball down the field. And that's the difference that, people didn't really understand about Big Ben. He would hold the ball. We're blocking and blocking and then blocking some more until he learned how to be really Big Ben. And, people don't realize how hard it is to play that style of football. If you hold the ball like Jalen, you hold the ball like Murray, when you hold the ball like Patrick Mahomes, it's harder to block because you don't know where the hell they are. You're blocking a spot in that offense. When you got 322 wide stick nod, the quarterback drops back 3 steps. The ball's supposed to be out of his hand going to the tight end on the nod route.
It's a rhythm pass.
If he holds it longer than if he holds it longer than a second half, 2 seconds, bro, that's usually a sack. And it's not the fault of the offense, but you see the offensive linemen, they get the blunt of it because these guys can't block when they don't understand conceptually that the ball says 1, 2, 3, bow. Ball's out of his hands, supposed to go to the tight end. But people don't realize that. You know what I'm saying? Like these long developing routes that you run when you go play action, it's hard as hell to block those routes unless you have a run.
It's funny you say that because one thing, and you and I watch games the same way. I see it now. You see through the game and you see what everyone's doing.
Yeah.
To me, the toughest thing about, I would think, blocking for Ben was Ben tried to create. He would get the ball early in his career. He would just sit back there. But as he developed, he would slide more to try to create passing lanes. That's got to be a nightmare for offensive linemen because you know what? I don't think people understand, right, Barrett? When you go back and you're sitting here like Brady and you're standing tall, you're back there in the pocket. These guys know exactly where you are. But when you're in and you're sliding like this to create passing lanes, dude, man, sometimes that guy he'll slide right into a sack.
And you're looking like, well, where the hell did you come from?
Yeah, and all of a sudden you look behind. Or you know what else, too, I've always thought? Ben, that's how you get your guys hurt because that's how you get rolled up on.
Exactly.
Because you don't know where he is and you think he's over here. All of a sudden you got a lineman under you and you guys get rolled up. I always thought he was a tough quarterback to pass probe for.
And think of this. The ball's supposed to be out of his hands like 1, 2, 3 ball. The ball's supposed to be gone. And he's holding it. And he's holding it some more. And he's holding some more. And you guys like Russ Grimm, offensive line. Russ Grimm, like, hey, man, I know it's supposed to be a 3-step drop. I know you just gave up a sack, but I know it's not your fault. But nobody else knows it. I got the head coach, BC, Kyle snarl on that. Man, I'm like, yo, what are you snarling at me for? He just held the ball for freaking 4 seconds, and it's supposed to be a 3-step drop and throw the ball. He's, back there, and he's trying to play hero ball, and he's patting the ball, looking down the field, and, just like you said, he'll try to go over here to try to create a passing lane to get his guy open, and all of a sudden he throws it, gets hit in the mouth, and it looks like it's my fault that he got hit in the mouth. No, throw the damn ball when it's supposed to go. And that's the problem. People don't see that aspect of the game. People don't see the aspect of the game that, okay, when he was running read option for those 7 games, that defenses figured out how to stop the read option. What you would do, you would go ahead and crash the end down. That would take the running back. So now that read is gone. The run part of the read off the RPO, that's gone. They would scrape that linebacker around.
You make them one-dimensional.
Exactly. Now that's keeping you from throwing the slant pass to the receiver because the linebacker sitting in your way. Oh, so now Jalen has to hold the ball and have to make something out of nothing. So now he looks inefficient because, all right, he's holding the ball too long. He couldn't do the read option, but defense is caught up with it. And it wasn't until they changed all that he became a better quarterback because they ran an offense around him. It's so many things you guys think that Jalen Hurts is not doing that you don't understand. He's being coached to do something, and when it doesn't work, now he's out there, freestyling.
But Barrett, I think it's the trust that they don't have in his arm. That's why.
Exactly.
He may
that too
have it, but like you said, when they were 2-5, there's no question they started turning that offense into one-dimensional. They totally started taking the RPO away, and he was going down more. You saw him going down more and getting sacked more, or him having to take off. on first read stuff because he's still learning progressions. I mean, he's still looking for the first two progressions. Man, a pro quarterback in today's offense, somebody like Stafford or Kirk Cousins, I won't even give you the elite guys. These guys know 4 progressions, and their screen game is always a major essential part.
Yep. They had no screen
really
game.
Got me, Barrett. How can the Eagles screen game not be enormous when you're the number 1 running attack in the league? When you have the number 1 running attack, your play action should be the best in the league, and it wasn't. I mean, throw it out there to Sanders. Get him out there in open space. Throw it to Devontae. Put him in the slot. Your run game should be predicating your screen game, and it wasn't last year because they were so cookie-cutter one-dimensional because the quarterback was learning how to play. By the way, sounds like I'm ripping. It's not. I think it's what Barrett's saying. This is the way he was coached.
Right.
He was coached this way, and it made him look one-dimensional because, Barrett, can these backs catch? Do the Eagle backs catch any? I mean, dude, you need Ryan Westbrook or something there that
bro, and that's a problem.
And back up the field.
That's a problem. Like,
Shady could do that.
But look, Stephen A. says, how about when he missed a wide open, easy passes, or he didn't throw it, he ran? You got to understand, I'm not making any excuses for him. If he missed a wide open receiver, then damn it, he missed a wide open receiver. But you also have to understand this. That might have been his third read. That might not have been a play that, he was supposed to have. There's so many different factors on how the game is played that they just didn't take advantage of completely as an Eagles team. They didn't take advantage of a lot of stuff. I mean, an awful lot of stuff. Just like we talked about in the Super Bowl, the first playoff game. The mere fact that they were running cover 3. In the cover 3, you say it all the time, you're going to have, soft corners on the outside. So why as an offense, are we trying to run the ball when they have 8 people, 9 people in the box? Take advantage of the cornerbacks that are 10 yards off the ball, run slants and stuff. They didn't adjust to it. Not just Jalen, but the coaching staff didn't call plays to adjust to that either. They didn't run slant plays. They didn't run comebacks. They didn't run dig routes that you could take advantage of cornerbacks playing so far off. I mean, you can run a dig route in cover 3 because everything is on the hash or the outside of the hash. The hashes are open all day in cover 3. Just hit them in the hash. We just didn't take advantage of it. Absolutely. We didn't have it in our offense to call it, so they didn't do it. It wasn't in the game plan, so they didn't call it. Call the play and tell him to go to it. When he comes to the sideline, Jalen. He comes out, the quarterback, Jalen. Just like they were saying, oh, he can't read. They should have been like, Jalen, you got to throw the ball to the outside. What coach was in his face that was throw the ball to the outside? That it's open. They're playing 10 yards off. The quarterback coach should say throw it there. Offensive coordinator should throw it there.
Barrett, inexperienced coaching staff, in my opinion. Inexperienced coaching staff on the sidelines and the way they handled the players this year was a training wheel scenario. And if you're afraid to get into someone's face and say, throw the freaking ball outside, it's wide open. Even if you're throwing a 3-yard pass, it's one-on-one.
Exactly.
Let him go. He's going to pick up positive yards. What we don't want is hold the ball too long like you've been saying. All of a sudden, you can't read the first read. You're sacked. You can't have minus yards in that offense. By the way, 252 said, progressions, you learned that in high school. Son, you're wrong. Oh. In college and in high school, you're told where to throw the ball. Yes. In the NFL, you have to know where to throw the ball once you break the huddle.
Yes.
How you move guys around is with your head. You're moving like the quarterback will do this. He'll move a free safety like this over to the middle of the field just by going like this, knowing full well he's going to come back on the slant pass, guy coming across the middle. He knows, and it's a timing route. How many times do you see quarterbacks, they move safeties and secondaries with their head to create open space for their wideouts? There's more things to playing the quarterback position than what everybody thinks. You think it's just going back, 7-step, throw the thing. That's not how it is. Everything you do, when Brady comes to the line of scrimmage, he goes like this. Okay, I've got Gronk here. There's a tight end. I got my tight end here, and I got my defensive end here. Is the linebacker going to cover him or not? He'll come to the line of scrimmage, and all of a sudden, as they're getting ready to go to the snap, he'll either say block or release, block, release, and he'll change it right there. How many times do you see Brady doing that? That's all timing and just knowing the game, Barrett.
Yeah, well, I mean, just little things, it's saying, all right, Jalen can't throw timing routes. No, Jalen can't throw timing routes because that's the timing routes when he has to throw the ball. He's told to throw the ball there. There's no reading in that. There's no reading in timing routes. When there's a timing route, you throw the ball when you're supposed to throw the ball. That's what a timing route is. That's not the case. He's reading. When you're reading stuff, that's when you have to, go out there and throw to receivers that, aren't open, but you're going to trust that they're going to be open. Those are when you have to, worry about that. Timing routes, he's fine at. Timing routes, slant routes, all that type of stuff, he can throw those. Comebacks, he can throw those. But when you get into your second or third read and you have to trust the window being open and it's not open, it's closed, now you got to go to another read. That's where he lacks the ability to advance in this offense. So I think that's what they're trying to make him. I'm just letting you know right now. I'm not trying to say that Jalen Hurts is a quarterback of the future. That he, we shouldn't draft a quarterback. I'm just saying this. I don't believe that these quarterbacks that are in this draft right now will be any better than the crop we had last year.
Huh?
That's all I'm saying.
Hey, we got to take. They want us to take one break before the top of the hour, so let's do that. And we'll be right back here. I got some names I want to throw at you, and also too, I want to wrap up the middle.